crush a bit, little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night, I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling up the
Look at that handsome face.
Okay, just want to check the mic first. Am I good? Get the sound right? This is not comedy hour, I promise. The funny thing is, I used to go to this school, and my class used to sit like in this area here. Yeah, O2. Who's an O2er? Kendra, come here! Kendra, come up. Kendra AG, everybody. Come give me a hug. I don't know how long has it been, 2 decades? Come up here. I'll holler at you after.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find you. How about that? Reunion. Okay, so it's just a little surreal. I haven't been in this room since 1999, 2000 maybe. So I'm 31. I just turned 31 on January 30th. How about that? Ooh, thank you, thank you. And when I was approached to do this TED Talk, I was immediately like, why? And then it was kind of like put in perspective for me. And I'm not really one to do speeches. I'm really weird, as you can imagine, as though I do the performing and I'm on stage doing this and this is my job. It's different to stand up in front of people like this when there's this light and speak and you know, express yourself in this way. But I told myself, okay, how am I gonna be able to do this? Let me just talk about my life. That's something I know better than anyone else. And I feel like coming from Cleveland, coming from Shaker, you know, such a diverse place, and just looking in the audience from the people I can see, it's still very diverse. But I believe that my upbringing in this town, this school district, is what made me the man I am today. And when I moved away, when I was 20 years old, my mom was extremely sad. Where's my mom at? Yeah, she was crying. Hey, mommy. My first big fan was my mom. And it was really interesting. I remember leaving home, and she's giving me a hug at the airport, and she leans in, she goes, now I can always turn back around and we can go right back home. You can change your mind and everything will be fine. I'm like, no, I'm going, this is happening. And you know, walking to security and then looking back and just seeing her like, oh, and me just being like, oh. However, as soon as I turned back around, I knew I was on a mission, on a very specific quest, you know? It was bigger than just wanting to be a musician or do movies. It was about finally showing the world what Scott could do. I wasn't the best student. I'm gonna be honest with you. Kendra knows this. If Kendra was in my class and she was sitting next to me, I probably would have tried to cheat off of her. But that's not the point. The point is, it's like, when I think about it, you know, I wish I applied myself as much as I applied all the energy into music as I did. As in music, I wish I could apply that same energy into my academics when I was in school. So a lot of people look at me now and they go, oh man, this must be dope to be a rapper, and it is dope, it's awesome. Top notch. But, you know, I can't say that I don't want to sometimes go back and relearn some things. I can't say I don't feel out of certain conversations that my friends have. You know, and these are things that I think about, you know, because being in school is all about being cool and wearing the fresh, I was going to curse, but wearing fresh clothing. And being popular. And when you go out into the real world, you realize that that moment is just a little beep of your life. High school, you know? Now I remember Kendra AG, but everything else I don't remember. No, I'm just joking. But I'm just saying, at that moment in your time in life, you feel like that's all that matters. High school, it's like, oh, this girl doesn't like me, this guy here, and it's all this drama, and you go into the real world and you know it's about just trying to make your mark in the world. And I never got a chance to do that academically. So I had this fire. I had this fire to pursue this musical career. I had no idea how to go about it. I was living with my uncle, who was up in age at the time, 80 years old. He was an older uncle. So when I moved to New York, it's not like he could show me around and show me all the cool spots, you know. He was just kind of like, there's a train, and you get a Metro card, and you go. And I was like, okay, we got the Rapid, I can do this. This is all right. I was immediately wrong for that, for assuming that it was going to be the same. It is not the same. But I embraced it. I embraced the fear, the danger. I enjoyed the fact that I was going in uncharted territory. It was like a sense of wonder for me. And I can't say I was one of those people that was into like having thrills and, you know, getting some type of stimulation from that. But it was nothing like saying like, yo, I'm gonna go out and pursue something and I know I'm gonna do it and nobody's gonna tell me I can't. And everybody that doesn't believe it, I'm gonna prove it to them sooner or later. And that's just what it is. Because at one point I didn't feel like I was smart enough to pass that test. Or I didn't feel like I was smart enough to go to this college. But with music, it was like, nobody's gonna take that from me. You know what I'm saying? Because there was things that I was dealing with as a youth at this school that I didn't talk to people about, that probably kept me from putting my best foot forward with my academics, you know? And the music, it was a platform for me to express myself and also realize that I'm not that crazy, that there's other kids out there that might be depressed or lonely, dealing with suicide, things like this. And it was one of those things that, you know, I just feel really blessed to just have my mom, who's been my supporter forever, who supplied that trip financially first couple of months or whatever, to have the support in my hometown. I can come back in this room and this field of love and energy, and you guys got me really nervous. My palms are sweaty. But it's really just the clock. It's like 11 minutes, 24 seconds, 23 seconds, 22 seconds. It's like, what's gonna happen when that clock's over with? It's like somebody gonna just pull me off stage? Jeez. Really, first thing I did when I went to New York, and most people think it was kind of like this amazing adventure. It wasn't. It was pretty much finding a job. And for the first couple years, I was working everywhere. You know, whether it was like at this clothing store here, or Abercrombie and Fitch, or American Apparel, or Dean and DeLuca, I always had a job. I was a hustler. And you know, I still apply that same work ethic with the music. You know what I mean? Like, I'm almost in a way where I don't know how to relax because my whole life has been just a grind. You know what I mean? And I think that when people ask me, like, man, how'd you do it? You know, I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I was just focused, you know? Because it's hard to put it into words because I can't say that it's just something that a switch I just flipped when I turned 20. Like I was always this guy. You know, I was always just outspoken and creative and artsy. I used to draw when I was a kid. It was before all the musical stuff came along. I was an artist. You know, I used to draw all my stuff. I used to draw all my tattoos and I said, oh, when I'm gonna get 18, I'm gonna get these tatted. It was about being a cartoonist up until I was like 15. And then I just wanted to be a rapper. And then it was all uphill from there. But, you know, if I could really just give people one piece of advice, you know, and just pass this along, and one thing I want you to take from this is that, like, we are all the commanders of our own destiny. You know what I mean? It's like you see these movies where they say, like that one movie with Lucy, where she has 100% of her brain power and she could do anything she wants. You know, we realize that the average human doesn't use, like, what, 2-3%? You know what I mean? Some weird small percentage like that. I really just told myself from jump, like, hey man, I'm gonna do this, and I applied the information that I needed to execute that, and in places and at times in my life where I didn't have the answers, I made sure to get the information or surround myself with people that had the information. You know what I mean? You can't hang out with people that ain't doing nothing. How you gonna get money hanging around people that ain't got no money? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna be inspired by people who aren't at least trying to go the same way, at least whether it's music or schooling? Like, I would be inspired by all my friends, because I went to college, I went to University of Toledo for 1 year for film. It sucked, I hated it, you know, it wasn't for me. But my film classes were amazing, and now that I'm doing acting, producing shows, writing shows, I wish I rode that whole couple, 3 more years out, because I would have information that I needed and I wouldn't have to go through so many hoops to be able to direct or create my own film or TV show. I don't know why I said that. Let me get back on track. Okay. So, really, you know, people, like I say, come up to me all the time and they're like, man, but you did it, man, you're special, you're different, and I'm not any different. From you, we're all the same. I came from this town. I went to this school. All my buddies, we all had the same opportunities, you know. It's kind of just like having that self-confidence, you know, and it was a lot of areas in my personality where I wasn't as confident, you know. Definitely with the chicks early on. I don't know if Kendra knows this, but, but the music, me doing something where I was like, wow, I made this. Like my first album, when that came out, I was like, whoa, I made this. This is something I like put all my energy into, and it's out and it's released to the world on a professional level. I was so proud of myself. But let's do it again. I didn't have time to be like, yeah, my first album, yeah, people like it. It was like, okay, we did good. It didn't suck. What are we gonna do again? We gotta do another one. Then I did that one. Okay, people like it, let's do a third one. You can't get caught up in just all the other things. You know, I really was like, even still to this day, I have my fun, but it's focus. You know, it's never, you know, even when I do stray, I'm still working. I'm still writing a song. I'm still doing something. I'm persistent, you know. And that's also another part. You know, I believe that some people get lazy. Some people might have that one painting that they started to paint and never finish it because they get caught up in their head and it's, oh, I can't do this, so maybe I go do this. It's like sticking to something, one goal at a time, you know. That's still big for me. I never put too much on my plate, you know. At first it was like music, and then the acting kind of came into play early on, and it was unexpected, but it was a blessing that I was prepared for. I was like, man, I've been a class clown since forever, let's do this. And I used to do it for free, now I'm getting paid for it, this is great. So, you know, I'm glad you guys like my jokes. I'm not even a comedian. This is just, so, you know, just to kind of fast forward, because there's so much I'm trying to squeeze in 5 minutes, 56 seconds. But, you know, man, there were a lot of haters. There were a lot of doubters. There were a lot of people that were telling me, man, you ain't gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. He'll be back. I remember telling all my buddies, I'm moving to New York. All right, you'll be back. Nah, I'm not coming back. And if I do come back, it's for a concert, you know? And everybody would be like, all right, whatever. But when I came back, it was for a concert. It was for a concert, and it was the most beautiful homecoming I've ever had. There's no show more important than this show. And I'm not just saying that because it was like in Cleveland, and it's like my hometown. It was the first time I saw my peers, friends I went to school with, being proud of me. I didn't get the moment to walk across stage with everybody. I didn't get the cap and gown, you know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to see these guys because I moved to Solon 11th grade. So like even seeing Kendra is wild because I haven't seen anybody in so long. But that's the beautiful moment. Still to this day, I do shows and I see a classmate in the crowd and I forget my raps. I'm like, oh, what happened? You got any kids? I'm sorry, I got it. And you know, it's wild, you know? And I didn't get that at school. I didn't play on the football team. I tried, but I was terrible. I didn't play on the basketball team. I tried, but I was terrible. I didn't wrestle. I did try. But I tried outside of the Shaker Heights High School in another district in Cleveland Heights where none of my peers could see me and me be embarrassed. It was kind of just like, okay, I'll try this in 7th grade and be terrible, and then nobody in Shaker will know about it because it's in Cleveland Heights. Just tuck it over there. But my point is also, like, music was my plan G. You know, it wasn't like I didn't try everything else. Like, I tried everything else. I tried everything that I thought, you know, was a traditional thing a young boy should do. Sports, you know, and even going to college was me just trying to fulfill a destiny, what I thought was my own destiny. But then also I wanted to make my mom happy, you know? And sometimes, guys, we got to do that. You know, there's a lot of things where we don't want to do stuff, but it's like, man, like, your parents, like, they really have to deal with a lot of our shit. And it's like, and now I'm at 31 and I'm just like, I had to apologize to my mom about, what, it was like 7 years ago? I was like, Mom, I am sorry. Like, I was a nightmare. But we got money now, so let's just go like kick it and like, and we're okay. We're good now. And it's funny too, because I took my mom to get her first tattoo ever. I forced her into getting a tattoo. And it's so funny, because are you embarrassed? I'm sorry. But this is big, because our relationship from the kid I was in high school, it's the best it's ever been. I used to put my mom through hell, but she was my supporter. And that's what parents are there to do, to give you the devil's advocate. Even when, I'm not gonna say, every time I told my mom I was moving to New York, she wasn't like, okay, all right. But that was more so like the fear of letting your child go out into the world, more so like the people in the street that are just hating on you and don't want to see you win. Parents care. I got a 4.5-year-old, she'll be 5 in March. She's the apple of my eye. She's my little baby. And she's so funny, because I'm the one that gets emotional when she has to leave, and I kind of just like, when she's leaving, I'm like, I'm gonna miss you, right? And then she's like, yeah. I'm like, you gonna miss Daddy? Yeah. I'm like, you can call me and stuff, right? You miss me. And I'm just sad you leaving. She's like, it's okay. We always come back. And I was just like, that's what I'm saying, all that. That's why I'm crying, I'm so emotional. But it was just like beautiful to just see, like me be the parent now. You know what I'm saying? And to see that confidence in my child and the same confidence I gave my mom. And you gotta just kind of take a back seat and go, okay. Because I literally like follow my daughter's lead. Whatever she is telling me to do, I just follow whatever she do. Obviously not in every way, or else like I would be broke. But in some ways I do what she asks me to do, or what she tells me to do. But that's the beauty of life, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I used to come in this room, I used to sit right in that section. Sometimes I'd pay attention, sometimes I wouldn't. Most of the time I'd be checking out chicks. Some chick I probably would never talk to because I never had the confidence. Maybe what was the day that we would send carnations, Kendra? Valentine's Day. That wasn't a joke. I was the king of like sending like carnations to chicks that I never talked to. I would be asking my mom for like, Mom, can I get $5? It's pizza day, I just want to load up on the carbs. And she would just be like, okay, not knowing that I was buying carnations for all these chicks, but thanks for supplying that, Mom. But with 23 seconds left, I just want to let y'all know that life will throw you a shit ton of curveballs. It's scary. But like, if you believe, man, if you believe, and if you want it, and if you want to work hard enough for it, it can be so. Because there's no difference from me and you. I just really wanted this shit. I wanted it bad. And I didn't want to be a failure. And nobody's a failure in this room. Don't ever think that. We can all win. And that's it.
Little bit, roll it up, take a hit, feeling lit, feeling right, 2 a.m. summer night, I don't care, hand on the wheel, driving drunk, I'm doing my thing, rolling the mid beside and now, living my life, getting our dreams, people told me slow my roll, I'm screaming out,